Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program 2, where we are currently in orbit over Lathe, and we need to land at this position. So we need to definitely orbit for a bit here until such a time as that is on the day side. This is kind of a slow orbit from here, but we don't have that far to go. So the question is, how is our timing going to line up with it as we come in here? That's an interesting question, for sure. We can also see that our orbital velocity is about 1,800 meters per second, so that's certainly a thing. That is certainly a thing. So, bringing this around, Lathe is orbiting quite slowly, or rather, revolving quite slowly. That is definitely true. So, perhaps next orbit or the one thereafter. We're absolutely going to want to land on land if we can, and ideally flat land. We'll see how that goes. We're going to need to move as much fuel as we can down to the bottom of our rocket. So let's actually do that right now. What is... Oh, right, we're going over the pole. Okay, that's fine. So let's hop real quick into our resource manager. And we're going to go to our hydrogen tanks, and I don't care about these central hydrogen tanks right now, but we're going to move all of these guys out. There we go. And not you. Not you. What? What is... Okay, this is definitely bugged. We don't have this many hydrogen tanks. I'm going to close that, and we're going to reopen this. Yep, this is still bugged. Okay, exciting. I guess we can't move our fuel down. Yeah, we don't have this many fuel tanks. These are not actually removing from this. Cool. I'm going to head back to the KSC. Once there, we're going to use the tracking station to warp a little faster, and hopefully when we reload it, that'll be working correctly. That would be nice. Because we definitely need to move our fuel down. No doubt about that. So back to the KSC we go. It will take a hot moment to load. I was not planning on doing this, for the record. The only reason I'm doing this right now is because we're having the fuel issue. So we're going to hop into the tracking station. And we need to head over to Joule, Lathe, and we'll look at Lathe. Okay. So now let's warp a little bit here. Okay. So that is our landing site. That's actually not too bad in theory. That's reasonably in line with our orbit here. We've got a fairly long line of land to hit. So that seems relatively okay. I'm going to warp a little further here. Okay, here we come. Noted. This seems to be reasonably well set up. So we're going to fly the FlySafe 16 here. Okay, and we're going to align ourselves to retrograde. Now, let's see if the resource manager is working. So we're going to go into hydrogen, and we're going to move these guys over. I'm not convinced. Actually, I think this is working. Cool. Well, for now I'm going to close that because we need to make sure that we are in position for this burn, right? So we're going to do somewhere around here. We're going to do a retrograde burn and get rid of a huge amount of our horizontal velocity. Come on. I can't really see, and we've got gimbal lock going on. Okay, focus Lathe, please. That'll make things a lot easier. Okay, something along the lines of that. Then we're going to bring this back and a bit over to about here or so. Little further back than this, maybe. About like that. Okay, we'll align for that burn. And while we're aligning, let's get this fuel transferred. So, back into the resource manager, and we need to determine which is going where. This should be in, out, out. Okay, so this is going to be in, out, out. This is going to be Right, these are out. There should be 4 ins in total. We found 2. So it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. No? Yes. In here? No? No. Maybe. Yes. Okay. So we're going to start that. So that moves that fuel down nicely. Okay. So that seems fine. We're going to start this burn in 1 minute and 35 seconds. Cool. So in theory, we should be landing on... Oh, this polar camera. Okay. We should be landing on land. This will rotate this way a little bit as we advance. Not very much, but a little bit. And this will be 1444 meters per second. According to this, we have 5 kilometers per second here. I don't think that's true. I don't think this is accurate. I think we had, like, 2,000 some. So, there's that. So we're going to cruise forward for about another minute here. And we'll just sit here. There we go. 50 seconds. 40, 30, 20, and about 10 seconds. So we can see there is a landmass down there. And I just want to see what our trajectory is looking like. That looks broadly okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay, I'm going to move our parachutes down here because we're going to need them. Somewhere around there or so. So 53 seconds of burn time here. Our trajectory looks very, very good. I'm actually shocked that this is working out as well as it has so far. We'll see. We'll see how the parachutes do. This is still saying 4 kilometers per second. I'm wondering if we accidentally pulled from some of these central tanks. If we did, it doesn't matter that much. We can adjust it on the ground. Okay, so we've got about 35 seconds of burn time left. And all we have to do is get back into orbit, and then we can send out a refueling mission via this docking port. So as long as we get back into orbit, it doesn't actually matter. We've got about 25 seconds left on this burn. And we're going to be entering atmosphere. In fact, we just did. Beautiful. And just continuing to slow on down. About 20 seconds left in the burn. And we can see, I want to be in ground, or rather surface velocity here. 800 meters per second, that's not too bad. 12, 11, 10. So only about 10 seconds of burn time left. We can see that we are pushing this node on up. That is fine. Yeah, this trajectory looks pretty decent. 3, 2, 1... and mark. I'm going to call that good. Now we're going to head over to the retrograde marker. Okay, so even if we lose additional horizontal speed, which we don't have much, even if we lose additional horizontal speed, it'll be in this direction. So that seems fine. We're going to be a little ways away from it, but that's what the rover is for. So that sounds good. We can see at this point that our surface velocity is 630 and going up. So that's noted. If we have to do a braking burn to deploy our parachutes, then that's okay. So this is a Mark 12R here. Chute safety is safe, according to this. But I don't think it would actually arm at this altitude. So I'm going to drop down to like 20-ish kilometers before we do that. The real question is, are we going to start decelerating without the chutes? Yeah, we can see now, chute safety unsafe. That's not surprising. So we're down to, well, we're at about 700 meters per second right now. And going up. We can see heat gauge there. I don't love it. Still accelerating. second heat gauge, and we are decelerating at this point. Okay. Keeping an eye on heat. I'm doing a re-entry burn. Bringing us down to about 600 meters per second. Okay. So we're down to about 600 meters per second. I don't want to burn too much here, if we can at all help it. We want to use primarily chutes, but we're still going quite fast at this point. I'm going to actually commence an additional braking burn until such a time as our chute safety is considered safe. Which it is now. Drogue out. Now the question is, what about our mains? Are those considered safe? They are. Mains out. How slow are we going to go? And we can see we are a few kilometers away from this, but that's fine. Precision landings in atmosphere with the tools KSP2 gives, kind of difficult. So it looks like we're going to be landing on this slope. I don't love that, but we don't really have all that much of a choice. I'm not convinced that this is going to be great. But we'll see if we're able to hold attitude. So downward we go. We're still going at about 200 meters per second, and we'll see what the chutes bring us down to. The drogues just deployed, bringing us down to about 200 meters per second, still decelerating significantly. Mains are going to be deploying now, bringing us down a lot. Down to about 20 meters per second. Wait, is this water? This is water. Okay. That's awkward. I did not expect that. I really didn't expect water to be here. This does not look like water. This looks like land, but whatever. Okay, I guess we'll give it a go. We'll see how it goes. A splashdown is actually safer for us, assuming that we can get the rover onto the land. That's the major assumption here. So we need to travel about 9 kilometers to get to our destination. That's not too bad, but man, you just can't really tell the difference between land and water here, can you? Okay. That's exciting. So 12 meters per second splashdown means that we shouldn't need to burn anything additional here, but can we fire our engine when we're in water? Now that's an interesting question. Okay, so that's a splashdown there. Can we hold attitude up top here, or are we going to fall over? It seems like we're holding attitude. And electric charge is going up right now. Okay, so that's a good sign. Now, I want to go into the resource manager again. Specifically, what I want to do is I want to get these tanks out over here. And it looks like we did not pull anything from the central 3 tanks. Okay, that's good to know. And I want to say in, here, here, and here. And all the rest of these should have automatically gone to out, but they didn't. Okay. And we're just going to move what fuel remains here. It's going to be out, in, out, 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 in, out. No, yes, out, in, out. Okay. Get that remaining fuel moved downward. There we go. We just want our center of mass to be as low as possible. Now, the question is, if we deploy our rover, what actually happens? Can we get our rover to shore in the water here? Also, can we light our engines in the water? That's a big question here. Let's find out. Yes, we can. Okay. That's good to know. We can light our engines underwater. That's kind of insane, but whatever. Actually, I don't technically know that this is water, but it's fine. So at this point, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to release our rover. But I'm going to have Valentina come on down here. Okay, Valentina. We're going to go over to this ladder. And the question is, how good is our rover as a watercraft? Or are we going to have to walk? Because that's going to be a long walk. No doubt about it. But let's go on down. And I wanted to be down before we released the rover. Reason being that I have no idea if the rover is going to float away or not. And I didn't want to have to pursue it. So we're going to head on down here. And then we're going to release the rover once we are in the vicinity. So this should be fine, I think. I'm not seeing any major problems with this. We're just going to climb our way on down. It's remarkable that it's fine, but it seems to be fine. So now we can just let go here, and we're in the water. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop back over to our craft here, and we want to decouple this. Like that. So this craft now floats up to the surface. And Valentina can climb on board. There you go. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to move us back a little bit here and tip us upright. About like this. And the question is, does this work as a watercraft? I'm kind of expecting that to be a no. Yeah, that's a no. Okay, so what can we do here then? We could push it to the shore with Valentina. Potentially. So, Valentina, let's get you off of there. And let's see about pushing it to the shore. This is a theoretically viable thing to do, I guess. We push the rover to the shore, and then once the rover gets to the shore... I want to be in the water here. We push the rover to the shore, and then once the rover gets to the shore, we can ride on the rover over here. Apparently we get up here occasionally. Sure. This is going to be a very tedious process to get this over to the shore. Then, once we have it to the shore, we would just swim back once we got back onto the shore. We can actually just walk up here, and we can sprint up here and push it that way. That's kind of weird. This is definitely some troll physics going on here, but, sure. Okay. It's wanting to tip over a bit here. We can fix that, for sure. This is another one of those situations where I'm like, if only we could set the SAS to up when grounded. But hey, we've traveled a couple meters. So that's definitely a thing. We have certainly traveled a couple of meters. Okay, let's climb up here quick. I want to adjust the orientation of this thing. Specifically, what I want to do is I want to turn it like this. And then I want to rotate it just a smidge like that. Okay. I really wish that these wheels did work in water, but alas, they do not. So now that we know that, that is absolutely fine. Valentina, you can hop back out. Whoa, okay. You can hop back out, and we are going to just push this guy onto shore. Now, I'm going to quick save here because there's a possibility that something goes horribly wrong with what I'm about to do. But I'm going to put us here and go into 4x time acceleration, and let's see what happens. Okay. This appears to be mostly fine. Mostly fine. What isn't fine is apparently my mute button is broken. That's good to know. I wonder how long that's been the case. Spooky. Okay, well, let's just bring this thing on over as to the shore as we can. We are making some progress here. It doesn't really look like we are, but we are. If we go into surface velocity, you can see we're moving at about 0.5 meters per second. Yeah, this just dropped down to 9.2. Obviously, once we get this thing onto the shore, this is going to go much better. The plan was not to land in the water. Apparently, you can't tell the difference on lathe in KSP2. That's good to know. So we're just slowly pushing our way on through here. Let's take a quick peek at where we are in relation to the rocket. So yeah, we can see we've definitely made a little bit of progress. We've got a long ways to go. I wonder if we turned our SAS on, what would happen here? Would this go any faster? No, and I'm not convinced we're actually using any SAS here. Okay. Now it is going a little faster, kinda. Kinda. But I feel like that's a little broken. So I'm not going to do that. Whoa, okay, that's very sensitive. We're just going to push this very, very slowly. It's gonna take some time. On the way back, it'll be faster because we'll just be swimming. Oh, okay. We got up on top of it. Definitely not intended. But we can swim a lot faster than we can push this. No doubt about that. But let's just slowly head on over to the shore. Even as we were coming down, this looked like it was the far side of a sand dune, not water. I didn't realize this was water until we were like 100 meters above it, which is kind of insane. But I mean, we've only got 9.2 kilometers to go. To be fair, a lot of that is going to be on the rover and not actually pushing the rover through the water. So, that's fine. I would normally cut a significant portion of this out, and I'm still going to do that. We're going to slowly push this here. It's getting close to time to put a cut in, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are definitely going to be getting this, well, it'll be pushed to the shore by the time next episode starts, for sure. For sure. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Tommy Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.